In a world of ones and zeros, you are the absolute master. We're all at your mercy, Vic. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Rinks, and welcome to another edition of Talking DC. Zack Snyder's Justice League has just released, and there's so much to talk about with this movie that you can make an entire series off of it. But for now, I want to talk about one character, and that is Ray Fisher's Cyborg. But Cyborg is not just a great character, is that there's so much potential going off with him, and that's what I would like to talk about. With that out of the way, let's get right into it. The one thing that's very different from this Cyborg compared to the other Cyborg shown, his relationship with his father is different compared to other ones, especially the more recent Cyborgs. Silas Stone and Victor Stone don't really like each other as much, or Silas Stone don't want to be part of his son's life. He sees it as a waste of time going to football and not caring about his academics, even though Victor Stone is very intelligent. Is that he always resents his father for turning him into Cyborg, or like treating him like a science project, that you only care for me because now you want to research the thing. You managed to combine the two to make time for me, but only when it's convenient for you, not because it was something that he wanted to do. That's happened with Doom Patrol, that's what happened in Young Justice, and then Justice League War. You have those different variations. But what makes Zack Snyder's Justice League Victor Stone very different is the relationship with his father. Silas, who is very grieving that his wife passed away, what happened in that car accident, she didn't survive, and you could see the grief from him. You felt his pain, and then coming to find out that his son won't survive, and then seeing his son laying down, coming to realize that he has to say goodbye. No parent should say goodbye to their child. It's already bad enough when it's the other way around, but no parent should ever say goodbye to their child. So he refuses to believe that Victor's gone. He won't allow it. So he decided to take matters into his own hands. He used the mother box to save his son. That Victor does resent his father because he feels like if he had shown up at the game, his mother would still be there. But to be honest, if he hadn't have shown up, all three of them probably would have passed away. So Victor, I wouldn't say he gets over it. He realizes that there were bigger things going on, sees longer term, or he sees the bigger picture. He still resents his father in a way, but when his father is kidnapped by parademons, that's where his attitude changes. I still want to save my dad because he's still my father. Even though he was never there for me, even though he never shown that he cared for me, I still love him. And then in that moment where Cyborg saves his father, and then his father's very happy to see him, and then you think that the two are gonna make it work, caring for each other more, but then we never got that. And then Silas makes ultimate sacrifice. He sacrificed himself so that way the League can track the mother box so they can stop Steppenwolf and stop the Unity. And that scene is heartbreaking to watch. Victor was actually contemplating of forgiving his father and actually caring for his father, and he never got to say goodbye. And that's something very hard for someone that could never take that back. Showing emotion at that part, it's really heartbreaking. That he's not just a stereotypical character who likes sports, who likes to say booyah a lot. Ray Fisher brought an emotional performance with this Cyborg, that this is what Cyborg's supposed to be. This is an updated Cyborg for the modern era. The character Cyborg has transformed in such a drastic way ever since his debut in the 80s. Then we didn't anticipate technology to be what it is right now. The way that Zack Snyder did Cyborg was justice, that he almost felt like Dr. Manhattan in this movie. He was on caliber with Superman because yes, Superman is very powerful in feats of strength. And Cyborg, he has that kind of physical strength. That's not what makes him Cyborg. He can literally destroy the world if he wanted to. He has the power to wipe out everybody. It really does show what kind of a heart that Victor has. If you want to compare like how low he can blackmail somebody by using information he's obtained over the internet. You can destroy a world's economy. You can launch nuclear weapons. You can start a war with two countries if he wanted to. There's just so much you can do. Nothing can stand in his way. No firewall, no encryption. Everyone is at his mercy. But despite all that power, he is still a good person. The scene where he helps that waitress out is one of my favorite moments in that movie. seeing someone struggle, doing everything that they can, and then it's heartbreaking to see no matter how hard you work, it's never good enough. Most of us, if we had that power, we would do that. It's the point, if we had that power, what would we do with it? And with Victor, he had a good heart. He helped his friend by hacking into their system to make sure that she had good grades, because she was going through a hard time. He gave the lady $100,000 just to get her out of property, to make sure that she was living comfortably. That's the challenge of him. Not that what he could do with his powers is what he doesn't. We can have all this power, we can have everything at our fingertips. It's what we use that power for is the question of who we are. And that's what I love about this movie. All these characters have questioned their powers, and I'm glad that they treated Victor in that same energy. Pausing for a second, why would they cut this out in the movie? This was very integral to the story. I mean, a lot of parts in that movie were integral, especially Cyborg. What were they afraid that people would see, that we kind of figure things out on our own? It does raise a lot of eyebrows. It has us asking questions. This makes Victor Stone the new god of technology. In real life, a lot of people go through traumatic events. It changes us. Some minor, to a lot of us very drastic. So I feel for Victor when he says, fuck the world. A lot of us feel that way, especially with how things are, all these disasters happening, everything that's wrong with the world. A lot of us would like to say that because we just lost the will to care. It was very important for Victor to come back to the living to help people out, because with his gifts, him helping out the League was a good turning point for Victor. After his father passed away, he had that emotion even more. He was gonna save the world. He did not mind sacrificing himself. That's why that part when he was telling Diana, wanted me to use these gifts, let me use them. I have nothing else to live for. That's very heartbreaking. That's why it's very important for this third act that you see Victor fighting alongside these other heroes. He's found friends that will care for him, that will back him up. They will tell him that he is not alone. Arthur is definitely a big part into that, because you can see Arthur's story play out a little bit similar to Victor's. He actually feels bad for him, saying like, we caused his father to die. If we hadn't have resurrected Superman, his father would still be alive. Even Flash of that told him, I thought you didn't care about him. And then he said, I never said that. You can feel Arthur's pain. He cares for his father. What would happen if he were to lose his father? The only other person that would love him. There was a lot of dynamics going on with the character Cyborg that it played into other characters. With Victor, when he was going into the mother boxes to stop the Unity, it tempted him. We can save you, that you won't be broken anymore. We can be a family again. Using his parents and his old self as temptation. And then he looks at himself, I'm not broken. As he rips the boxes from each other, and then he says he's not alone. And that's something that translates to life again. A lot of us, we feel alone. We have these events that happen to us. We're depressed. We had something horrible happen to us, and we feel alone because we feel like nobody's there for us. We find these people who are friends, even our families. People who are positives in our lives that make us keep going forward to make the day better. In time, they will join us in the sun. And Victor was able to save the world. Decides to become a hero in honor of his family. It's what his parents would want, to know that their son turned out to be a good person. They couldn't wait to see what wonders he could do. He was going to do great things, but they would never imagine what he could do. That's something that a lot of us want to see. We want to see Ray Fisher Cyborg come back. We want to see him in his own movie. We want to see him in the Flash movie that we actually want to see, not they're making right now. Because Cyborg, it's not a stereotypical character. He's not a guy who loves football, who plays video games, who says booyah a lot. He's a god in human form. He lost his humanity. Bad things happen to us. A lot of times it's okay to say, forget the world. It's okay for friends to get us out of that darkness, to help us out, help us keep moving forward. That is what Cyborg means to me as a character, and why he's one of my favorite heroes. Ray Fisher did that, and I'm very happy with his performance, and I would love to see him again as Cyborg. And that's it. We're done talking about Cyborg. Like I said, with Zack Snyder's Justice League, There's a lot to go off of, and if you want me to cover more topics from that movie, I would gladly turn into a series if not part of my DC series. But let me know in the comments below how'd you feel about Cyborg and what he means to you. Let's wrap things up. Hit the notification bell to let you know when some more videos will come out. Also like, subscribe, share, as that will help my channel grow for more viewers to watch. Also follow me on other social medias to see what I post every day. Until next time, thank you for talking with me.